Hello, you beautiful people, it is Giddy. I had several of my very, very long-time supporters DMing me and texting me asking what I thought about this business with FaZe Clan basically dropping most of their roster. So I figured I would give my thoughts here in video format, because if you guys are not longtime supporters of mine, way back in the day, Call of Duty is where I started. Like, it's where I started internet content creation. I was doing this shit August of 2008. So I was doing this before anybody in FaZe even knew what Call of Duty was. Obviously, I didn't pursue it as a career. I just kind of uploaded videos whenever the fuck I felt like it, because I've always been of the mindset that as soon as you stop doing things for fun, if you make this a job, it becomes a job. And it's a job that many people would prefer over others, but I didn't want to lose the fun with what I was doing. So that's just kind of where I was there. But anyways, with me being in the loop for so long, I've seen every single evolution of anything Call of Duty related, whether it be the pro scene, sniping, whatever. And I will say before I get started here that I am not unbiased. I don't like FaZe Clan. I've not had respect for FaZe Clan since about 10 years ago, and there's a very particular reason for that and just other reasons that stacked on top of it. But anyways, they got rid of most of their roster today, and I will start with Kaylee because I used to be really, really good friends with her. We would play Warzone all the time back on Warzone 1 on old Verdansk. And seeing the clip of her finding out that she was kicked from FaZe was fucking heartbreaking, because you can just tell how devastated she is. And what's really fucked up is that all of these people found out that they were getting kicked from a fucking tweet. Is that not the most disrespectful shit ever? It's insane to me. And Banks, old sore Richard Banks, he said that they knew for a year that Kaylee was gone. A whole year. You knew that you were getting rid of her, and she never knew. That is beyond fucking disrespectful. She's the biggest female Warzone streamer. Millions of impressions a week for FaZe Clan. And that's how they fucking treat her. It's insane. That's just pure disrespect. And there's other people too, right? A lot of their, like, OG members are just gone now. Jinx, Fakey. Jinx he's my boy, man. He's been one of my best friends on the internet since, God, I don't know. I've known him for well over a decade at this point. But he has been grinding for FaZe Clan since either 2010 or 2011. I don't remember, but he's been in for fucking ever. And they never did anything for him. They never did shit for any of their OGs. And it's so pathetic. It's so fucking pathetic to think that an organization could be run that way and they're just okay with it. It's crazy. And, you know, it hits me a little weird that FaZe claims, oh, we're making these moves, we're making these roster changes, so FaZe can get back to its roots and we can grow, you know, the way that we used to. It's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Get rid of the people that were there from pretty much the fucking start, and that's how you're going to get back to your roots. Yeah, wow. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet from FaZe Rain, but he said that FaZe is still majority owned by corporate. 51% corporate ownership for FaZe. So whenever these FaZe quote-unquote founders say that they've got plans for the team, they're gonna to get back to the roots, they're gonna make stuff happen, they're gonna rebuild FaZe's reputation. How are you gonna do that when you don't have majority ownership? How are you gonna do that when you don't make the decisions? I don't know if they are just lying purposefully or if they're just really naive and stupid to how business works. Whoever owns the majority decides what happens. That's just how it is. I don't know. It just shows you how much FaZe actually values their creators. Not at all. By the way it was handled. And God, this is a little bit of a side note, but every time I see sore Richard Banks's his bio anywhere, it says founder of FaZe Clan. Banks is not a founder of FaZe Clan. FaZe existed for literal years before Banks was ever involved. So I don't understand what that's all about. I think that he can get away with it because a lot of FaZe fans are literal children and were not around for the old school trick-shotting days for FaZe, so they don't know. Speaking of that, on Twitter I saw a lot of people replying to FaZe Fakey, you know, on his tweets saying that he was kicked. They were saying, who are you? To FaZe fucking Fakey, brother. Like, it just shows how these FaZe fans are just zombies, just fucking mindless drones that have no idea of FaZe's history, no respect for any of the people that made FaZe who they are. And God, Like, I've never liked Banks because I got in beef with him back in the day. And you really get to know somebody whenever you're beefing with them because there's no filter, right? They show you who they are. They're not putting on some fucking PR stunt, you know, making people think they're a good person. I saw who Banks actually was. And from the looks of it, he hasn't changed in the last 10 years. But if you guys don't know the backstory, way a long time ago, probably 11, 12 years at this point. A lot of trick shotting teams, FaZe, Soar, Dare, all the big three and several others, they were using setup trick shots in their teamtages and their montages and shit. And I thought that was the most whack shit ever. How can you ever be proud of a setup clip? You didn't earn that shit. Some fucking dork that worships you for some reason stood still for 2 minutes straight and you use a kill cam that you got against that? How the fuck is that impressive? I will never understand it. And so I made several videos back in the day on my YouTube channel that had a few hundred subscribers. Like I said, I never really took YouTube that seriously. But those videos fucking blew up. And a big part of why they blew up is because all the people in these big trick shotting teams got real fucking mad at me. And if you think about it, right? Like, my little ass YouTube channel, so inconsequential. Who gives a fuck what I say? But it was the fact that they knew I was right, so they got mad. And so I ended up making several videos clowning these guys, making them look real fucking stupid. And, you know, Banks was one of the main parts of that. And that was back when he was in Soar. So you're not a fucking founder of FaZe, Soar Richard Banks. Come on, man. But I don't know. Just the pure disrespect of the way this whole situation happened. Seeing how devastated so many people were. You know, nobody would know who Banks was if he didn't have 4 letters in front of his name. If the people in FaZe didn't feel bad for him and pick him up, nobody would know who he was. His whole identity is FaZe, and he did not build FaZe. These players that he kicked in such a disrespectful manner, they built FaZe. They are the reason that anyone knows who these leaders are. It is your OGs, it is your people that laid the fucking foundation for everything that FaZe was supposed to be. Those are the people that are responsible for your success. And the way you thank them is by kicking them in such a fucking insane way. I didn't have any respect for FaZe in the first place, like I've said already. But this just really showed it, man. You know, I just don't get it. Who the fuck thinks this is okay? If he's a founder of anything, he founded FaZe's era of NFTs and crypto. In other words, the era that made FaZe lose all credibility. So now all the OGs are gone. All the people that made FaZe what it is are gone. And you know, the team's reputation's already died once. So I guess let's just watch it die again.